attended than the last one.
The last one he did was amateur
They were
fighting.
amateurs.
Yeah, and this one's all professional fighters.
Right.
Yes.
We did get some calls at City Hall, and everybody kept saying, who's selling the tickets? I'm like, the city was not selling tickets. We did allow him to sell from his booth, our booth right here, but we didn't sell tickets. I don't think we're gonna get into that, but we did maintain, the 4A, we did maintain the liquor, and so there were lines in the liquor because they couldn't serve it fast enough. So we're looking forward to hopefully host it again, but this would be definitely something that we would need to be able to consider, but it would need your recommendation for the council to move forward.
Yeah, when, boxing, I know for the fact they have a lot of fireworks. You'd be surprised how far they go to see a fight.
Well, I was just watching Chris Talamantes on Facebook, and he was in Vegas watching the fight, so maybe go to Vegas.
They travel. They bring a following, family, friends, and they bring people.
Yes, so.
So with that said, Madam Chair, I'm gonna say that we also support this event for the amount requested. Arts and entertainment, music and entertainment is gonna be what are gonna bring people to Floresville, I think.
So you recommend the $6,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Tahada, you moved?
I do.
Mr. Roger, do you second?
So,
Okay, all in favor?
fine.
I have two. You want to abstain or you want to say no?
How do we figure how much people should get, like, per head event? Is there?
Well, there is a formula
calculation?
that you may do, but you need to have a direct thing, a direct correlation between somebody came into town for that purpose. As Viola said before, people come in for the Opry, and then they do show, let's do that.
So if we calculated, say, 1,400 people, what would that come out to?
Well, not all 1,400 people would stay in a hotel, but I would say.
Yeah,
because
but
when-
even if we
I would
said that, or say 1,200 or
Well,
something.
can you provide us the numbers from the two?
I'm pretty sure he can get numbers from Holiday Inn, because that was his main, they sponsored, and they were part of hosting the weigh-ins there. They
Yes.
sponsored that room for him.
Yes, because I know his fighters and Ramona stayed there as well.
Yeah, all his fighters stayed at the Holiday Inn Express. They all stayed there. And there was 10 bouts. So 2 fighters per, plus their cut man, plus the family, yes. So, I
Yeah,
can,
you can get the numbers,
unfortunately,
but
he's not here. I mean, I know he wanted to be here because he did have a few numbers.
And I'll have those numbers before we present to the council, because I know how they are and the questions they're gonna ask.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that it does meet the criteria that it did bring people from outside of the city of Floresville. He definitely advertised outside the city of Floresville, and it promoted, definitely because he held half of his event at the Holiday Inn. It promoted, because that's the purpose of the hotel motel tax, is to give you seed money to come back, and so that's really, really important.
My question is just the amount. I don't see how his was, like, Viola's only asking 5,100, and hers is a reoccurring event that's gonna be bringing people every month. And she's in the city, she's supporting our town. So I would go more towards giving her more than this guy who's only doing it once maybe a year, and he's not local, he's not really
He's
bringing a
local.
purpose to the
He's
city.
from Floresville.
Oh,
He is local?
Yeah, he is local.
Yeah,
He's from Floresville.
he lives in
He's on
Floresville.
Fourth
If you
Street.
notice, his address is Floresville.
Right.
So he is definitely a
Yeah, all his
Floresvillian.
family's from here. That's why he bring the boxing event here. He's done 2 in the past.
Yep.
And that's where the 4A board's working with him on helping him bring more events out this way, because it's hard to attract people out to Floresville when San Antonio is just 30 miles away.
He has a fight on April the 20th in San Antonio at the El Safar Shrine.
Who is he? That has it.
Rick Morones.
Oh,
He used to be a boxer also. I don't know if he's still boxing.
No, he's just a promoter and a trainer.
yeah, there's Maroney's here in Floresville.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is he gonna be doing events more than, is he doing it
Okay,
like
but
once a
he's-
year?
But you only
or
get,
regular?
okay, but from this one, you only get to ask once.
Okay.
So, the next time he could ask for any funding would be after his next events in the next fiscal
Yeah,
year.
he's called.
Yeah, he's been trying to put days. We're just so busy at the event center, we can't give him no
He
days right
wanted
now.
a date in May. There's
So
no
he's
date.
trying to do 2 to 3 fights here, for professional. It's hard to get a day here, for us, so
That's a
next
good
year.
thing.
Yeah, it's a really good thing.
It's a good thing, because
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So
That's
next
good.
year, after this fight, he wants to do one more, and then next year, we're trying to book 2 to 3 events.
And have it on a regular basis.
Yes, you have more occupied space already, so he cannot use it.
Yes.
So,
If you notice, like in the professional fights out of Vegas, they're always at a certain time of the year.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we need to keep it on a regular
I don't-
schedule.
Well, like with Viola, you're asking her for advertisement costs and all this. I'm just wondering where the $6,000 came from. Where do you?
Oh,
It's
if
for-
you would have seen that stage alone.
With the,
But once a year compared to 300 for, every month, then this would be.
and I think he's
high
asking
priority.
for the marketing, I think he has it in there, and because he did pay for the event center. And he paid for our ballroom as well, for help with that. I believe that's what he put on there as well.
And how much revenue did we make at the?
We made,
The bar.
at the bar,
alone.
we made 5,900 in a matter of, I think, 5 hours.
Yes.
And that's because we didn't have enough bars open for that event. We weren't prepared.
Really short,
And I'll be serious, we weren't prepared. We expected 500 to 600 people, and it was 1,400 people. We should have had 6 bars open at least.
Okay, so, point of order, we have a motion on the table, it's been motion and seconded, and I have a vote of yes, and.
I mean, I just wanna see where, I would just wanna see where he's getting 6,000 from, that's
Okay.
all. I think the property is more beneficial than this.
And what I can do is I can have them, because they're professional fighters, so they get paid as well.
Well, it's more expensive.
Yeah, and I can have them provide all that, the numbers that he,
You gave me that so I can have it before the council.
You can't have the rent,
You can't have
can
the-
you?
No, you can't use the rent,
Rent.
but we have to use the advertising and correlate it to the heads and beds and the expense of having the event itself. So, how did you vote?
yes, goes commercial, social media, press conference, way.
Like I said, I wanna see if you're requiring all the advertisement costs from Viola, I don't see why we're not requiring that from him.
I don't think she's required, it's just
I'm gonna
makes
ask-
our proposal look better to the council.
Well, I want to give them information on us to do that, because I have to be able to justify to be able to do that. But what we're looking for is a recommendation to fund it,
Right.
so that we can be able to do that to move it to the next meeting. So you can say, yes, I want to fund it, no, I don't want to fund it, or abstain from funding it, and then we can go ahead and see what the vote is.
I would fund it, just probably not $6,000 worth of, unless he could prove
Okay.
that you spent that.
But the
much.
motion on the table is to fund it $6,000. Okay, so then we have 2 yeses and a no. Great, so the recommendation would be of the 11.
411. 411.
For 11. And then, to Rachel's credit, we want to make sure that he provides us. I'm sorry.
Rachel's the other one.
I know, the dark red one, I'm sorry. To Ashley's credit, we can make sure that we have the documentation so I can have it prepared for the council.
But Rick should also present all of his costs that are associated.
Yeah, I'll tell him, because he did, he was planning to be here, he had all his costs. I told him to send it to me, I could have presented, but
Yeah.
he's been out of town.
Okay.
But I'll tell him to give us the cost of what he spent,
Yeah, and,
and I don't wanna quote him, I don't wanna get anything wrong, because I know it
But I
was
do
over
need to have
30,000.
Show him how this was presented.
see, I told you it's the model. We're using the model.
Yeah, no, I have a couple of, Mrs. Viola's copies in here from the last couple meetings, so
She's the
I
model.
don't have anything.
Now, in full disclosure, the Peanut Festival was going to ask to be on this agenda as well, but they have a new president. And so she requested the application from last year because it's the first time she did it, and so she's asking for your next meeting. So your next meeting is in April. March. Your next meeting is on the 17th of April, which is a Wednesday, which is your standard normal meeting. And so Dora will be reaching out to everybody to have to do that, and hopefully we can do the positions, and I don't have to run the next meeting. I don't mind, I'll come. And then everybody has a chance to read the bylaws at that time in case there's any questions or comments, okay?
Okey-dokey.
With nothing else on the agenda, I seek a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. All in favor? There we go, thank you. That was painless. That was painless, I think so.